Alright, it is sometime between 5:20 and 5:30, and we're listening to nothing, and we're just gonna try to get something done this morning.
Welcome to my hobby desk, and guys, this morning was a disaster, but I was able to make some progress on these objective tokens, and I just wanted to share that with you, and we're gonna hope that tomorrow's a better one. So in between everything else, I was putting down layers of this green. We're gonna finish up the base coat, and we're gonna highlight it later on in the video. We're going to do a quick dry brush of burnished gold on the Aquila on the Space Marine chest, and we're also going to hit the little pipes down there with some black wash. I apologize for the return of noob camera. I do think that things were getting better, but this morning I was so disheveled and out of whack that there were several times that the camera just completely eluded me. I apologize. Thanks for your patience. Alright, I mentioned the other day that I wanted to maybe add some stuff to the Chaos objective, so I grabbed my clippers and a sprue, and I pulled off a shoulder pad, and then I found a helmet that I liked that my son said I could have, and I just kind of fiddled with them a little bit to see, you know, both of these would fit and how they would fit, and I decided that I was going to go for both of them on there. And so I went to then pin the head so that it would be easier to paint and I could get all the way around it. And most of this is going to happen off camera, but I'll try to get a little bit in there so you can see kind of what's going on with that. So this little drill I'm using is referred to as a pin vise, and I'm using it to put a small hole at the bottom of the head. And then I will glue in a paper clip that I have mounted to a piece of cork to make it easier for me to paint and get all the way around it. So here's the little hole, and from here on out it's just the same process as I did with the scarabs. I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on the end of the paper clip that I have cut off. Just enough to hold the head on while I paint it, but not enough to make it difficult for me to pop the head off when it is time to put it onto the objective token. The shoulder pad I'm just going to stick on a piece of sticky tack, and this is a clip I usually use for when I'm doing Space Marine backpacks, but it'll just work just fine here. More green. Okay, now we're going over to our faces, and we're going to lay down a base coat of Barbarian Flesh on everybody except the Raven Guard, and we're going to use Bone White on him. This is going to take a couple coats, even though I did undercoat it with the brown. Army Painter takes extra coats to get a really good coverage, so we're going to do a couple of these. The Vallejo Bone White will go down much better. Also, Noob Cam is back. Now we're going to use Bone White from Vallejo to hit the Raven Guard guy because he's an albino. And even at this bad camera zoom, it should be pretty easy to tell that the Vallejo paint just has much better coverage than the Army Painter. Okay, I like how the green is on these guys. So we're going to go ahead and start the highlight. We're going to use Putrid Green. It is an old Citadel color. And we're just going to do the top of the tube. We're going to hit the coils closest to the little black thing that divides them. And we're going to try to get a tiny, tiny dot on the scarabs. Alright, I like how that came out, and now we're going to go back and do second coats on the faces for both the Barbarian Flesh from the Army Painter and the Bone White from Vallejo. And we just did a third coat too of everybody. And I tell you guys, this morning was a disaster. Editing this video was a disaster. This was just a hobby disaster day. But I got the green and the highlights done on the Necron objective. I got the base coats on the faces done on this guy. And tomorrow I'm going to be hitting the home stretch. I think I'm going to lay a matte varnish down on several of these so that tomorrow we can start doing hopefully some ice effects and hopefully lay down some snow effects also. If you hobbied this morning and took a video, please link it in the comments below. I would love to take a look at it, hoping your hobbying went better than my hobbying. But at the end of the day, we got a lot done, made a video, had a great time doing it. I hope you guys are having a great time watching these, even when everything goes wrong and the newness rises to the top. But once again, I appreciate it, and have a great day.